A huge shocker has just dropped as it is reported, theoretically, that the Chicago Bulls would actually trade Lonzo Ball over to the Atlanta Hawks in an epic 3-team deal. I know this is unbelievable as Chicago Bulls fans. How could we actually go ahead, keep a guy for 3 seasons, rehab him up, get the hype videos out there, only to trade him away to another Eastern Conference team? I'm actually going to be talking about a Bleacher Report theoretical trade that is on the table that the Bulls might explore this summer. I'm Rico Greenhowe. I'm your host, and this is another episode of Bulls Digest. And before we jump into it, guys, want to let you know that 74% of you guys actually who watch the videos are not subscribers. Make sure that you go ahead and you hit that subscribe button so you stay up to date with the latest happenings with your Chicago Bulls. And with that being said, guys, let's jump into the first part of the video here, which is Lonzo Ball trade to the Hawks, guys. And so this was done by Eric Pincus, a Bleacher Report, and he actually reports a trade that actually includes the Chicago Bulls and also to the Atlanta Hawks and the San Antonio Spurs in a 3-team trade. Picks are traded in this one as well. We'll be talking a little bit here about some numbers as far as some trade exemptions as well. So let's go ahead and jump into the first part of the article and what was actually stated here. Okay, so here we go. All right, so this summer will be an important one for the Chicago Bulls. After 3 straight seasons of mediocrity, they have yet another chance to shake things up and avoid another middle-of-the-pack season. Early indications have signaled that the Bulls plan on trading Zach Lavine this offseason, but there could be more moves for them to make on top of that. Though they are destined for another date with the play-in this year, with little chance of making any noise in the postseason, there have been some positives to this year. Kobe White and Ayo Dosunmu have broken out as legitimate building blocks for the Bulls, and this summer should be spent building around those two. The old core of DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic, and Lavine have simply run its course. So here's what we got, guys, and here is the proposed trade. Okay, so this is the Bulls, Hawks, Spurs, and this is the mock trade. So here's the full outline as addressed here by, of course, Eric Pincus of Bleacher Report. So we would actually receive DeAndre Hunter. We're also going to get City Sedoko as well, and we also get a $6.5 million trade exemption here. The Spurs will receive Trae Young. They would get Javon Carter, a 2024 first-round pick via Sacramento from Atlanta. And then the Hawks would receive Trey Jones. You get Devontae Graham, Lonzo Ball, a 2024 first-round pick from San Antonio. And then you have a 2025 first-round pick via Atlanta. From the Spurs, you get a 2025 first-round pick via Charlotte from San Antonio, and then a 2026 relinquished swap rights from the Spurs, and a 2027 first-round pick via Atlanta from the Spurs. And then the exemptions that you're looking at here, guys, is actually going to be a $21.7 million trade exemption for DeAndre Hunter, and then you're looking at a $21.6 million trade exemption for Trae Young. All right, guys, so then that leads us into the next part of the vid here, which is, should the Bulls trade Ball? All right, guys, so this is an interesting question. And initially, what the article is saying is this, as far as should the Bulls go ahead and trade. So they're saying, though they don't get any draft capital back in this trade, this would still be huge, or a huge win for the Bulls. Not only would they get off Lonzo Ball's contract, but they get back a solid player without losing any picks. Adding Hunter would improve Chicago's three-point attack while also adding another solid defender to their lineup. This trade would be a massive win for the Bulls. All right, guys, so a lot to unpack as usual here, but look, I think that this particular trade would be one of the most wildest trades in Chicago Bulls history if they were to do it. And I think it would probably be along the lines of one of the most disappointing trades in Chicago Bulls history as well. Now, when you look at this deal, the one thing that we did not say in this is that DeAndre Hunter is coming on to, he has a 4-year deal worth $90 million, and he's in the first year. The problem with this is that DeAndre Hunter, even though he was a lottery pick and he was 4th or 5th overall, he has not played a lot of basketball games. At times, he has looked outstanding when he is healthy. But the issue is he cannot stay on the floor. So in my opinion, this would be a tough deal for Chicago to take. One, I get the sense that, yes, you do get a guy that can shoot the three-pointer. You do get a guy that can defend at a high level. You do get some experience over there because he has been on the Atlanta Hawks where they have gone deep and made a playoff run once since he's been over there. But you do not get a whole bunch of games from DeAndre Hunter. In fact, right now, I think he's actually injured as we speak. So this is one of those things where you're getting a contract back similar, in my opinion, to what you would be trying to get rid of with Zach Lavine. Number two, you're getting a player back that has knee issues, which you're trying to get rid of a player that has knee issues that may never play up to the same level that he was at again. So you're getting kind of the same headache back, but maybe you get a little bit more games out of it. And then lastly, you don't get any trade cap. You don't get any draft picks. You don't get any trade equity. And so this is a huge issue for Chicago because if you look there, it was talking about that there's an older core and there is that growing concern about DeRozan playing a whole bunch of minutes. Now, I'm an advocate that you keep DeMar DeRozan as a closer and you approve upon the roster into which he doesn't have to play major minutes like that. And so if we're looking at this and we're saying, okay, the roster is older besides the backcourt that is obviously a building block for the Chicago Bulls, then I think it makes more sense for the Chicago Bulls to go out there and get some draft capital. Or if they are going to bring back players, then they should go after maybe if you're going to go get DeAndre Hunter, then I think you need to go get a guy like Saddiq Bey to go along with him, or AJ Griffin. You need to get guys that are younger that also too have not had so many injury concerns and actually have shown that they can play at a high level as well. Those are players that I think that are on Atlanta's roster that I think are poised for breakout seasons. So that way, if DeAndre Hunter is a wash and it doesn't work out, you have some pieces in which you can build off of. And I think that that would be huge for the Chicago Bulls. And then I think the next step is you go ahead and you move Lavine. And then I think now, if you make this deal with the Hawks, you get a couple pieces back with some draft capital there. Now you're able to move Lavine for something smaller. You don't have to now go, okay, I have to get a primetime player now to go along with Lavine. You can actually say, okay, I can fill out my bench, or I can go get me another serviceable starter to go along with my young backcourt. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. I think that this particular trade is not a great deal for the Chicago Bulls. I think that this really helps out, say, a team like the Spurs, and it definitely helps out Atlanta, who seems to be rebuilding. I don't think this helps out a team that, like us, that wants to not rebuild and really doesn't want to tear it down and really wants to still compete. So I don't think that this is a great deal for us, but I think it would be better if we actually were to go out there and get some more pieces. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Once more, this is Rico Greenhowe, Bulls Digest. And as usual, guys, go Bulls. I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care. Peace.